Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. We are going to start our ongoing meditation session now. So keep relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, please. And while you're focusing to the sound, you can mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, we'll take few minutes to clarify ourselves how this practice can help us to cultivate our mind. So in the beginning, we have to understand the very purpose of practicing meditation is cultivating our mind, developing our mind. And another way, purifying our mind. So purify from what? Purify from greed, hatred, and the delusion. And cultivate with all the profitable skills related to loving kindness, generosity, compassion, and wisdom. So, and at the same time, we have to remember there is nothing that we can input to our mind. So that means you are already complete and capable to find the liberation. So only thing is, we have to understand how this mind works. Because whatever you hold in mind as thoughts become real to yourself. And then that reality start to become your environment. So environment affect to how the thoughts and the thoughts get influenced by the environment. So it's like a circle. We depending from the environment and environment depending from us. And then we think the environment as the outside world and the universe. And then we think we are depending from it. But underneath, you don't see this environment or the world depending on you. Because whatever you think today, it become tomorrow, it can start to come as a form. So there is an invisible power in us. What is that power? It is a very conventional way of development. And some people take it as the success. What is that? You have strength and ability and power to whatever you imagine, you can bring as real to this material world. Whatever you imagine in your mind, in the very next day, you can bring it to physical world. So that means you have strength and power and ability to transform something from mental world to physical world. So once it becomes a part of this physical world, what happens? It has power to strengthen someone to imagine. See the link. So you imagine something, and then it becomes part of the material world. Then you see the material, and it start to help you to imagine. So then the both way. So what you imagine, you can build as something and bring it to the physical world. And what you captured through your eye in this physical and material world, you have power to imagine it and transform it to something. But finally, underneath this all, it has only mental strength when it comes to life. So once you understand that whatever you experience, it's all your mind. And from that point, then whatever the ability that you gain to go with this world is become totally different. So as human beings, we are kind of like a power plant. So as you know, nowadays, people talk about this subject, power plant. When it comes to power plant, the very nature of the power plant, it's not going to generate power. It's not going to build the power. So what it does, the power plant, it absorbs and take the power from something. And then it start to reform, rebuild the power, transform it to something and send. It never originally, it never going to brand new energy inside the power plant. So we are the same. The most powerful power plant is our mind. So then through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, through this perception, we absorb power. To absorb that power, we use the desire. Otherwise, there are a lot of things come towards us. But when you don't have the intention or the desire, it becomes powerless. So once you add the intention or the desire to perception, what happens? It starts to come towards you. And then once it mixes with the mental formation or the sanskara or the volitions or the cankers or the experience or the history or the desire inside your mind, and out of that what happened, you start to send something back through your bodily, verbally and mentally action, and then it becomes your outcome. So you take something through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and then transform it to something and send it back through your bodily, verbally and mentally action. So when it comes to that, you have a choice, you have power. Whatever comes towards you, you can transform it to joy, happiness, pleasure, success, development, growth. So like that. And at the same time, you have power to transform to unhappiness, sorrow, disappointment, stress, anxiety, depression, fear. So like that. So then you have to remember the mechanism. And we think, oh, it makes me unhappy. So there is nothing can make you happy or unhappy itself from just outside nature. To make, in a very conventional level, to make something happy or unhappy out of any experience, there is a mechanism inside you. So in the very first level, you have to understand that mechanism. Otherwise, that just alone, that outside incident or the perception has no power to make you happy or unhappy. It is just an incident, just an event, just a situation. So then what is the current that keep going in us? So why something make us happy or why something make us unhappy? How it become different? Why it become like that way? So that is what that we call the intention. So mostly we don't see the intention. In the surface level, we see, oh, I want this, I like that. But underneath, the intention that mostly come to us without knowingly. So that means there is a current keep happening and will depend on that current. On the surface level of the mind, when that current pop up, we say, oh, I like this. And then maybe you see on the surface level, oh, you had a good intention. but underneath you didn't see from where this current keep coming. So that's why in the surface level, when you don't react to any action and just observe, it allows you to go beyond this surface level of current and see underneath your mind. So that is why in the very beginning, we have to develop a method to develop the tranquility state in our mind. Because most of time, we become very disappointed. Listen this very carefully and get this. We become very disappointed out of doing good things. And sometimes, very rare, we become disappointed doing bad things. So, when we have the clear connection with the good, you're not depending from outside, or you're not depending from the result, and there is no way you're going to have a disappointment out of the good. Even you fail, so whatever the result comes, even if not successful, still that you're going to have some kind of growth, happiness, satisfaction, and the fulfillment of the journey. There's no disappointment going to come. So then, in case if you think, oh, I had a good intention, but it end up being disappointed, you have to remember, even though that you thought it as a good intention, you didn't have the very clear understanding from where it comes. Because always, whatever the current come out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion going to bring us to the end of the unhappiness. So then when we see the mind, when we work with the mind, we have ability to recognize this. But in the very surface level, just by thinking ourselves, we cannot do it. Why? Because that thinking pattern itself already built up out of that the same current. So we cannot use the same current to tackle it or to change it. So that's why the meditation is help for us. What this meditation does, it takes you to the very center point, balanced place. In the very beginning, not to go with that underneath current. Just to observe it and recognize. That is what we call tranquility meditation. You tranquilize, you don't get disturbed. You develop undisturbed mind. So what is this undisturbed mind? Mostly people think it is from outside. It is nothing to do with outside. You don't get disturbed out of this inner current. So whatever keep happening inside your mind. So your own behavior cannot interfere with your own awareness. So once you have it, the moment by moment, you will recognize what is happening underneath your thoughts. So in the very surface level, even though it look like nice, comfortable, happy, joyful, but underneath is kind of like a volcano. Maybe there is a deeper anger, resistance, unhappiness. Mostly maybe there is a fear. So like that, we try to get out of something. So as example, maybe you have fear regarding your future to lose everything, and maybe you're afraid that you lose all your money. And then you want to keep work yourself and develop some savings or have some comfort in your conventional life. And then maybe you reach to something. You get some savings and you find some security with your conventional life. But still, there is something will disturb inside. So then you come to a point, no, I have this all, but still it doesn't feel good. Why? Because the very epicenter held by the fear. Even though you built this, you brought this everything to you. You brought it because you had the fear. So then apply it to the meditation or the spiritual practice. You have deeper fear regarding becoming. You have deeper fear regarding samsara. And then you think, oh, I don't know what will happen to me. So then I want to practice meditation. And then you think, oh, I want to find my freedom of the liberation. Oh, I am afraid for the samsara. Because of that, I want to gain the nibbana. You will develop the misery. Even maybe for a moment, you will, even though you find the calmness, tranquility state, underneath, your fear going to become more and more and more stronger. So that's why, even in the conventional life, even in your spiritual practice, you have to remember, in this mental power plant, what we transform, what is the cause, what is the intention, from where this comes, what we're looking for. So like that, you have to be very clear. Because once you become clear with your own mind, the energy that comes towards you, and as your bodily, verbally, mentally action, that whatever go out from you become very clear, and you bring a good connection. And then at the same time, you develop a very good harmony in between the perception and the outcome. So then in between this, the mind become always very clear. And once that you develop that state, moment by moment, moment by moment, you come to a point in between the perception and the action. There is no grasping, holding, clinging, resisting nature. So things will keep happening in your life, but still your mind unshakable. So things will keep happening in your life, but still your mind in a point, you don't get disturbed out of the perception or out of the result. So when you're able to come to that point through this tranquility meditation, you will recognize the perception always change, and also our bodily, verbally, mentally actions and the outcome and the result also always change. And not only that, all this environment moment by moment change, and we are as a part of this environment. As this living being ourselves, head to toes, we also the part of that change. So once you tune to that change, you deeply understand this everything you can experience, not in the past or in the future, you can experience only right now, right here, in this very moment. So through the vipassana, you come to a point deeply to integrate with this happening and be with that. And that is where deeply you do become very solid with your awareness, but with any perception on the outcome, you become very liquid. So you become very solid with the awareness or the recognition, but with the perception or the outcome, you kind of like a very liquid. You become any form. So that's where you become formless. That's where you become like water. But still, because your awareness become very clear, you become most powerful energy in this universe. So in that process, you can experience this. And out of that experience, you gain the only one thing, that is what called the wisdom. And so that wisdom, not attached to anything, that wisdom not related to any kind of power or the methods or the patterns. It's only depend on the state of your condition of your awareness. So get into that step by step, little by little is your practice. So that is why we develop this every day, little by little. So you have to be your own master and you have to practice yourself and you have to give your best. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. And your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line. So be comfortable with your posture and bring your attention to your body, please. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, recognize inhalation as inhalations, exhalations as exhalations. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also, may all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissani Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.